There we go. Let's... Yeah, Flaffy, I almost forgot about the stream, too. I got too busy working on pages, and then I, looked up. I was like, oh, shoot! So I, scrambled to, get everything going. I also, stayed up really late last night to, work on, I stayed up really late last night to, finish up the, promo page. I got that done, thank God. So we'll work on the next promo page on Tuesday. But, hi Lynn over on, YouTube. So yeah, I'm a little tired on that. Wolf says over on Twitch, Chester, why? We'll always keep talking about you. Flaffy says, ah yeah, Rufus's lovely chest. I mean, I gotta hembify him. I gotta fix this one though. I don't know what's going on. This was late night, early morning drawing down here. So I gotta work on that. I need to pull that up here. There we go. Yeah, because it's a really tiny chest on him. Is that Rufus's dad? Yes, this is one of his fathers. This is Alexander. So you have Alexander, and then you have his former father, or not former father, but he's a lot more formal, Step. So these are his fathers. Right now, Alexander is kind of checking in on Rufus, and Rufus is being a doofus and didn't even realize his dad was, there. He calls Alexander Pops, and he calls Step Dad. Funny enough, but I'm sure I didn't do it for a pun. He's not a stepdad. That's just his name is Step. Stepppe. Let's see. Oh no, you got ads. Of course you get the ads when I start. It knows. Wolf says, has Rufus been working out? He is a himbo. So, I mean, his whole family is they're pretty strong. I know his father here is of a plus size variation, but they're all still pretty strong in that family. How's the series going so far? It's going. I mean, everything takes time, and considering I'm the only one really working on the comics, it takes a lot of time. I need to actually make a post either later today. I was thinking about doing it on Monday. For compositors, the Ice Week we had here kind of threw a wrench into a few things. But everything is good on that. I'm still working on the comic. I'm still trying to get things going. But again, I'm the one that's doing everything for that. I have background stuff that's in the works. Compositing's the next step. So we'll get there. Welcome back, Flaffy. Wolf says, has there been any changes in the series? Oh. In it to keep this, any changes in the series? Are you talking from when I initially started it? Because yeah, if you're talking about recently, not terribly anything much changing, but we're kind of still on the same page as we were. He's got a twunk body here. It's really tiny, so we're gonna cut and paste it so that it doesn't affect the other ones. Just buff him out, but it takes his cake out. Aww, no more cake. It's okay. That is okay. And just erase that part, and then erase this down here, since that is the couch that will be blocking that. Okay. Let me get this in place. And go over here and delete this. Okay, let's see what we got here. Rufus kept looking even more handsome. Aww. I can't wait to have Rufus's normal hair back. I'm so tired of drawing it slicked back. This is my own fault, but I really, really want to draw him with his normal hair. It is driving me insane just because I'm like, I start drawing it out of habit and then I'm like, no, that's not right. And so like, it's been killing me for that factor. I'm still having fun though. Still having fun. But this, we're getting closer to the prequel comic being sketched out and drawn. He's still got cake because I can't help myself. It will be toned down. It won't be this much cake. I think it's funny. Himbo with cake. Let's see what we got. Flaffy says, fixing Rufus's cake. I'm working on it, Wolf. Flaffy says, was discussing this on Discord, but I'm species swapping the main gang. Oh, that'll be fun to see. Like I said, I have been like kind of out of it because all yesterday I was just like nose against my tablet. Like, I have to get this promo piece done. Because I was tired of coloring it. I was tired of working on it. I think it looks nice. So yay. And then we'll have the next promo piece we will work on. Like promo comic, which is the one with Lil, which is technically from chapter 1. I know my chapter numbering is off. This is technically chapter -0. The the pilot is chapter 0, and then and I know there is no -0. It's fine, we'll call it -1. And then you have chapter 1. It would just be easier if I just renumbered. No, I'd have to change my outline. I don't want to. That's just what it is. I just don't want to. Is the crowdfunding campaign going? Any more changes to it as well? Aside from kind of taking it a lot slower now, it's pretty much, it's still going. I'm still working on things here and there, but like, I have to get this pilot out. I want to get this comic started, so like, it's on the back burner, and it's gonna sit back there for a while, just because I want to get more people engaged with the series. I want to have more people, you know, I'll have one section animated, and I'll be like showcasing that and everything when the Kickstarter is ready to go. But for right now, I just want to get I want to get this started. I want to get the comic started. I want to get the comic going so that you guys actually have things to hold on to, instead of me being like, well, you know, Rufus likes the color pink. You know, like, I can't just in good mind keep it to where I'm like, oh, I can only say little things here and there for you. I want to be able to give you guys some things to like hold on to, like, and be like, okay, well, you know, I know the comic's still going. I at least have the prequel out. I at least have the pilot out that I can hold on to, instead of me being like, look at my half-baked stuff. It's dough right now, but one day it'll be bread. I promise. Like, so that's my issue right now, is I have too many things that are in the, what I call the dough state, to where I haven't fully finished it. So it's me literally trying to tell you guys and hand you guys, yes, cookie dough is delicious. We're not talking about cookie dough. I'm talking about like bread dough. Yes, you can eat bread dough too. Don't. But like me handing you bread dough and being like, you see that? That's sourdough. It's gonna be sourdough bread. And you go, neat. You gonna put it in the oven? I'm like, no, not yet. It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. But I made more dough. That's rye dough and milk bread dough. And I'm gonna make those into bagels one day. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't want to hand you guys a bunch of dough and then tell you what they're going to be one day. I want to actually like start putting them in the oven, taking them out, and letting you guys get to have them. So it's a, I have to think what is priority right now, and the Kickstarter is not going anywhere. The Kickstarter is going to be there, and I'd rather take my time with the Kickstarter because it's a lot more of a complicated thing, and I want to make sure I'm getting everything going, if that makes sense. Enough with my anthologies of bread. I think I want to make bread. I think that's what it is Allie has been making sourdough bread, and I am lazy and I have like a bread machine, but I love making bread. So I think I'm like kind of jealous, even though it's not even in the same field as Allie's. So I think that's why I have the bread on the brain right now. Let's see. Working on more scripts for thought for future animation episodes. Okay, so how the scripting process goes for Thought is Fishy, Allie, and myself, we meet up for I want to say it can be anywhere from like 4 to 6 hours. We meet up on like once a month, and we work on different scripts. Recently, we've been working on Kickstarter scripts so that I can have them ready for rewards and such from like my actors. Like one of the rewards I want to do is to where you will get you will pick like who you want a phone call from. And it's not like they're going to actually call you. It's a recording they do, but you get to have like this special recording of like from Sai or from Chester or from Rufus or Yoko or Yuji. You get to have like a little special call that's like, it's not like you talking to the actor. It's not you talking to the actor who's playing the character. It is all pre-recorded, but it's set up like a video audio phone that you get to keep. And you would have that to enjoy. There was also like a written thank you from the characters for donating a certain amount. So like we've been working on that stuff and doing scripts for that. The scripts, we have all of chapter 1 written. The pilot has been spruced up so that I can redraw it as the comic. The prequel comic, obviously, it's got a script because I've been working on it for who knows how long. But I'm starting to get over the fear of making comics. Just because it was I don't know how to do it. And now I'm just like, I'm just going to do it, right? And I have like a lot of people that I like kind of hand pages to. And I go, does this read well? Does this work? So that's been helping. Let's see. Future animation episodes, besides the Kickstarter, there are not really going to be any big animation episodes because I do not have the budget for it. I'd rather focus on getting you guys the actual story for the comic because if I do episodes, like, it would be like another 6 to 10 years plus for just episode 1. And like, you're never going to get the story. If I have to wait like every 10 years, I'll be dead before I finish the story, right? Just because I don't have enough money income for it. So that's why I've switched over to comics. So no, there will not be any more animations. There might like episode animations. There might be shorts, but we got to see how the short for Winter's Last Stand goes and see how well that's received. Recommend to still making theories and fan art. Yeah, you can do that. You can still make theories. You can still make fan art. It's always welcome on the server, so long again as it is appropriate. And that meaning like Yuji is 14. She cannot be with an adult. Darker themes. I do thought does have darker themes, but still make it appropriate and within the terms of, you know, Discord's TOS when talking about stuff. So like, just, you know, you guys know better. You guys know how it goes, right? I don't have to tell you guys. Are there some days you feel like you're still figuring out what you want for the series? So I know what I want for the series. It's a matter of like me. So I call that the bone structure. I call that the bone structure of I will make I will make an outline and I will say, okay, so we are going to get from point A to point D, but I need to know what BC is. I need to know how we get there. And we go from A to D, and I'm like, A is how we always start it, D is how we always end it. There is really hardly any changes to it. It's the in between that changes. It's always the pathway of how do we get there that's the most smooth, and then versus the how do we get there that's the most interesting. And it's trying to find the fine line that balances between those two, because the most interesting can start becoming convoluted and messy, and the most safe and smooth can be very boring and you've already seen it before. So it's a trying to find that nice nice line to tiptoe on for it. So that stuff changes. Generally it's been about the same, but like some of the themes and like some of the things like have adjusted from the initial one, because when I did the initial one, it was in mind of, oh, this is going to be an animated series, which means I have to cut out all these things. And now that I don't have to cut those things out because it is a comic and I can explore those things, it's a matter of like trying to sew those back in and being like, how does it still work with the story? What parts do we have to change to make it work with the story? So like, it's the journey that changes, and that happens for like any writer. You don't want to be married to like an idea like, oh, I have to have this scene where Sai joins the circus. I have this vision, and then you get to that point eventually and you go, why do I need a circus? The circus doesn't work. Crap. But I want it. Well, the circus doesn't work. Man. All right. So no, Sai doesn't get to be a clown. Like, you know. A lot of questions. I don't mind it. I like answering your questions. I'm also like, oh, I need to still draw. Wolf also asks, are you still working on the world building for Thought for future spin-offs if you decide to do it? So the world building is always there. We're always working on it. We're making sure that we have rules and we're following the rules. We're making sure that we are kind of thinking of neighboring planets. Not that you will see those neighboring planets in Thought, but we still are thinking about those neighboring planets being like, what are they up to? What do they do? How do they react to Sirawasa? What is everyone else in this universe? Like, how do they see this planet? How does this planet see everyone else? So it's a matter of like, that's where we're thinking of. We're starting to think about the food, because I know that was a question last time, and I like came like into like my group chat and was like, oh, I have to think about the food, because it is a recurring question, and I have so much other stuff on my brain I gotta like think about. So we are kind of like discussing that. Or you know for sure you don't do spin-offs. As of this moment, there will not be any spin-offs. I'm not saying like I will never do a spin-off, like blah 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 blah. I want to finish this story. I haven't even started this story, and I want to finish this story. So like the idea of spin-offs is far from my mind for a good long time because I have 3 books with a lot of chapters in each book that I have to make for me to tell my story. I don't have time right now to think of spinoffs. Flaffy says, pretty much, race swap will be Size Reptilis, Yoko a human, Rufus a Caprium, and Yuji a lycanthrope. Rufus would be terrible as a Caprium because he would be stumbling on hooves all the time. Terrible. He wouldn't be able to get up. He'd be like a baby deer. What is Rufus's workout routine? I don't know. I don't really work out. I'm kind of a fat individual, so I don't really know. I just wanted to make him a himbo. Wolf says, I was drawing a little doodle of Rufus, and I think the name is Lynn. Both of them hugging so sweet. Aw, that's awesome. Lynn is a terrible person, so... but I'm glad you drew them hugging so sweet. Hi, Shaxer. Welcome in. But it's so bad, the doodle. I am sure your doodle looks amazing, and I would love to see it. Like, I love seeing everybody's, skill levels, in art, because again, we all start somewhere, we all do something, and honestly, you're gonna do something that I'm gonna be like, wow, I haven't seen that. That's awesome. They did an awesome technique there. Neat. Like, go for it. Go for it. I would love to see it. Don't ever think my art is bad. Remember, you may have those thoughts of, my art is bad, but at least you didn't have to write a prompt to make it, right? Right? You guys are awesome. And the fact that you are attempting to make art from what's in your head, that's an awesome skill level that a lot of people don't even have. That a lot of people just don't even bother to try. So, like, you guys are already doing awesome. And I can't take credit for that. I had seen somebody, like, say that, and I was like, yeah! Yeah! That's right! I didn't have to write a prompt for it! I just picked up a pencil! And it's just part of art, too, is to always be, what do you say? Is to always worry about, if it's good enough. And I still have that worry with thought. So, like, and you guys are here. So, like, just keep at it. I'm testimony to that. Flappy says, yeah, I can say I'm better than AI. Hell yeah. Down with AI. Still the silly doodle of Sai eating his cookie. Aww. Alexander's a cutie. Very much the worrywart of the family. But definitely a very positive guy. Rufus gets a lot of his optimism from him. I know Sai is an awful person who doesn't care about anyone, but I'm still thinking about drawing him more lovely person who cares for others. Go for it. Sai is one of those, he has a chance at redeeming. Lynn, not so much. But again, you can draw Lynn pretty much any way you want. I will generally, for the most part, never discourage it. There will be times where if things overstep boundaries, sure. But, like, it's fan art. It's awesome. His little frosted tips. It's called growth. Yeah. Shakta says, after a year of being in a toxic and abusive relationship, I finally found a person who's very loving and supportive. We're having a date today. She helped me through a lot of problems I had before, and we're about to slowly be official. Let's go! Congrats, Shaxter. I'm sorry that you went through a very hard time in your life, especially with a relationship of, you know, someone that you're supposed to be open with and caring with, and they took advantage of that. But I'm very happy that you have found somebody that, you know, is helping you through the problems, and I hope your date goes extremely well. Wolf Max says, character development! Probably for Sai, right? Fluffy says, it's funny that I'm making Sai a reptilis because barely any ladies want his ass like that. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it'd make him a lot more humble. Perhaps it will make him more humble. This is not important for me to do, I just do it. I don't know why. So I've been watching like videos on lettering, and it's been so interesting, but like, God, it's also been tricky now, because now I'm like looking at all of it going, oh no, oh no. Go back to his drawing, which is right here. I don't like this part. I don't like this part. Delete. Let's see. Of course, Shaxer. Again, I hope it goes well. Fluffy says, Yoko being a human, having to deal with stupid stuff like eating, drinking, and breathing. Yeah, she probably really hate that. We need a Reggie chest emoji in Discord. We have one. I haven't uploaded it, and it would probably be for the Kickstarter people because it is animated. But we do have a Chester. Sorry, Reggie chest. Chester will not be getting any chest or cake. YouTube is quiet today. It's okay. My lazy hand where I draw a box of french fries and then just, yeah. 'Cause I'm like, I don't want to draw a hand. I need to, but I don't want to. Very anime tee hee hee. It's one of those, I don't really watch animes, but I watched a lot as a kid, so I can definitely see like a lot of things that I'm like, that's very anime. Ah well. And then move on with my life. Doesn't bother me much. As long as I can tell my story the way I want, right? I have to hype myself up. Reggie got some squeakers for Pex. Why you call them squeakers? More Rufus cake, you say? I mean, his cake's right there. Like, he's gonna have plenty of times to have cake shown off. Like, boy got cake. TV needs to be lower, though. Dee-dee-dee-doo. TV there. And the couch is a little high. So we will delete that. And then we will go down here. We'll make it here. And then he gets a little bit of cake back. He's bringing cake back. That's not a funny joke. That's not a funny joke. You're tired. Don't do this stuff. He's gonna have a concave ass when I slap that shit. Don't slap his cake. He worked hard on it. I'm gonna concave it. You guys are terrible. Okay. And then this one, he's got his muscle. Foreshortening is a pain. Let's make these a little. I had to like pull up so many reference images and like try to like look at my own hands for this one. It was a pain. I can't wait when he's on Sirawasa and I don't have to draw him with the silly freaking slick back hair and I get to draw characters that I know better. I say this, I'm gonna get to those pages with Sai and Yoko and Yuji and just be like, eh! It's just me drawing. We go over this every time. Flaffy also called me out with like that one art meme or whatever on the coloring and such. Yoko will be all over Red's chest. Oh, for sure. For sure. She definitely hits on, Reg, hoping and praying. You're right. Lynn's gonna do that. No! You're right. No! Yes, Lynn, do it. Oh my god. I mean, Lynn was basically trying to get a hold of Rufus's cake during the Halloween party promo art. Yes, he was. Lynn very much enjoys seeing that cake. Lynn is something else. Lynn is something else. Rufus's dads are so cute. So delete that. March down, delete that, delete that. It's a lot easier when the pages are like a lot more close-ups. Who will be Yoko's Valentine? Also, will you be doing a Valentine promo art? I want to do some Valentine stuff. I'm just not sure, like, what I want to do for Valentine. Because every year I want to do it, and then every year passes, and I'm like, I'm so swamped with things. That's the problem when I, like, have so many things I have to get done. I want to do Valentine promo art, but it will probably not be like, oh, here's ship art of these two characters. Like, at most, it would be like Rufus and Candy ship art if I did do that. But I'd rather just kind of do, you know, little basic Valentine cards. I think I talked about this last time, and I laugh about it because Travis from Dungeon Flippers, he was showing off some of the Valentine cards he had done for, like, last year. And he was telling me, he was like, yeah, like, I just took screenshots from my pilot, and I just used them. And I went, Travis, I don't have a pilot yet. I can't do that, Travis. I have to, like, redraw everything. Like, I can't do that. So, we need more Lynn, him trying to get a hold of Rufus. Hopefully we see it in the comics. Who knows? I mean, I did jokingly drop in the concept art channel, Wolf. I don't know if you saw that. I know Flaffy saw it. Flaffy went after me for that one. There was a concept art of Lynn and Rufus in that, but I was joking that it would be Valentine art. It's not Valentine art. Flaffy says, Valentine's Day art wreck. Yuji just stealing my candy. Problem is, Valentine's Day doesn't even have, like, good candies. I guess it has chocolates. I don't like chocolates, so that's why it's always been like it's not even good candy. Yuji probably like chocolates, so probably steal it. I guess I started thinking of, like, the chalk candy hearts. I'm looking at the wrong hand. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna draw the wrong hand and then flip it. No, this is the right hand. I drew the wrong hand originally. Go me. Okay, cool. Sorry, I have my hand up trying to do, like, the handgun position. So I'm, like, looking at my hand right now, so I'm not very good at hands. It takes me a bit. I have to, like, pull up so many references and then, like, cross-reference and all that. And then it's like when you're doing foreshortening and yeah, all that. I also have fat fingers compared to a hembo, so, like, that'll be fun. And then I have to remember, only 3 fingers, not 4. Okay, let's see. Yuji, a dark chocolate enjoyer. Probably. You gotta keep Rufus away from the chocolates, so he'll probably try to eat the Valentine's chocolates and then die, because, again, he's deathly allergic. I have one Valentine's promo art is Lynn giving love to Rufus. Rufus, thank you. Now please let go of me. Nice. Nice. Let's pull this in, because that was a relaxed finger gun. Let's pull this in further. And then he's got his thumb would be here. And then his fingers would be over here. Not that this man's ever held a gun in his life, but definitely played pretend. Uh-oh. Let's see. Pax. Hey, how are you? Sorry, I was like trying to read. That's why I went uh-oh, because my brain shut off on how to read words. How are you, Pax? Hopefully you're well. Flappy says, Rufus is a crapram. I wonder if I can have chocolate now. Frickin' dies. Yeah. Fluffy, kill Pax. No, Fluffy! Bad. I'm gonna put you in the corner. Wolf says, now I started to enjoy seeing Lynn trying to get Rufus' heart. Pax, I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. What did I miss? I think we're talking about Valentine's Day stuff. Rufus's cake. Drawing. And how cool it is to draw and not have to use AI to make art. Like, how cool that is and how sick that is. And I mean that, like, legit. Yeah. How are you? Also, Flaffy has I guess an AU where they all species swap. So we've been talking about that too. Funny if you want to step into the horror way and Lynn actually take Rufus's heart. Hee hee. Wolf says, I wonder how big of an important role is Lynn. I don't know. Lynn probably is freaky enough to be a cannibal. Yes. Yes. Lynn's race, I don't have the proper name on them yet. We're still working on the name for their species. They look human. They are dense, and I don't mean just like in the head space. I mean like their bones are so dense and it's hard to kill them. They were known for like hunting other species for like a very, very long time. And eventually they just kind of grew out of it and were like, okay, we're going to be like a lot more civilized. So Lynn's got a little bit of that bloodthirsty trait to him, to where he wants to fight. He would get enjoyment from it. But again, everybody just kind of hands him stuff easily, so he's kind of bored. But he has no problem eating other species, and he would eat his own kind just to say he did it. So, because again, it's kind of that hunter instinct. Len gets his head cut off. That was really effing rude. All I can think of is, oh god, what was that one movie? Death Becomes Her, where they did the music of that. Was rude. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. Yeah, him and Isaac would get along great. I don't think so. Lynn doesn't play well with a lot of people. We also, it's really funny. Lynn in his younger days, in his youth, he was a very attractive twink. He's not that anymore. He's no longer a twink, but in his mind, he is still a twink. Like, in his brain, he is still a twink. And, like, you cannot change his mind. Even looking in a mirror and he can see his form, he is still, in his mind, he is a twink. And I love that about him. I love that about him. Glitch, Lynn, yours, it all connected? Nah, not really. Lynn, the type to be on the floor trying to stuff himself into leather pants that are size too small. Yes. Yes. And he has leather pants. He has leather pants. Like, he's my buddy Jack's OC that I really loved and, implemented him in the world, and he's been, like, really fun as one of the crime lords. But, like, he definitely, like, Jack has made him have wardrobes to where he is like, man, those thighs, those leather pants are fighting for their life. And you know what, I gotta give it to Lynn that the fact he is so in love with himself, like, good on him, right? Good on him for having that confidence. Wait a minute. What if the other secret love interest is Lynn? I mean, it makes sense. There is a possibility for that. Lynn will enjoy seeing Rufus's leather pants. Only Rufus can pull it off. Oh my god. Rufus wearing leather pants, though, like, he would be the loudest mother fudger ever in leather pants. Like, you would just hear him for miles. I also said Rufus is the type to have goldfish as a kid, but it keeps dying in his care, so his dads have to scramble to replace it without him noticing. If his parents allowed pets, yes. I could definitely see that having been a case, but like his family is not really a pet owning family. But they definitely had to replace some of the plants in his room multiple times and then finally just kind of gave up on it. Wolf says Lynn could have redemption. What you think? I mean, we get the whole full story. Lynn is one of those, he doesn't really have a redemption. Pax says swish, swish, swish 100 miles away. Yeah, that would be Rufus. Rufus also the type to take the goldfish out of the tank to pet it. He would be the type to put a leash on it and walk it, and I know I've made that joke in the other comic, but, yeah, no, it's probably good he didn't ever have a pet. Wolf saying, cannot wait for the comic. Thank you! I'm doing it the best I can, the quickest I can. Because again, I'm not going to be super detailing, like, all the backgrounds like I did for the promo arts. There'll be times where it has that much detail, other times where it doesn't, just because gotta get the comic out. But I still want to make this comic as best as it can be for you guys. And eventually, when we get, like, a team, that will help it, but for now, I do not have a comic team. I only have a team that is working on getting the pilot done. Let me believe Lynn can be redeemed. Wolf, you just have a time. You just have a time picking certain characters, don't you? Flappy says that man will not be redeemed. To hell he goes. Lynn does a lot of irredeemable things, so it's kind of hard to redeem him. Also, I don't think he wants to be redeemed. So again, a lot of the crime lords have done terrible things. So that's just kind of something to keep in mind. Some have justifications, some don't, but like they've all done like terrible things that technically by law they should be held accountable for, right? Let's get his head adjusted. It's too skinny. One day I will get lettering down. I always want to have the tail point at the mouth, from what my books have said and the tutorials that I've read and watched. It's a good finger point. Ah, thank you. Again, like, this one took a very long time to get that finger point. This one I'm still working on. I just, like, looked at my hand, like, so that one's not as good. But this one, like, took a lot of me looking at references and studying it and pulling my hair out. It's great. I'll be bald by the end of this. God, let's see. Sai effing scrambling when Lin gets his head cut off and his body keeps coming for him. Yeah, no, Sai would be very freaked out by that. Sai would love Lin to go bye-bye so that his debt could be free. Sai Redemption can't wait for his character development. But who are the other love interest of Rufus? Any guesses? The other love interest is a freaking break from it all. That's a good... what is one you hated seeing on animations nowadays? What is what I hate on seeing animations nowadays? I don't understand that question. Also, I can pretty sure you guys can guess Rufus's love interest at this point. I'm not subtle. I don't hide that stuff. Would be okay to share these to Discords. What are we sharing to Discord? I'm sorry. My brain is not picking up what's going on. Let's put on some more music, because I think this music is like massage music to my brain, and so my brain's just bartending beats. Hello? Nope, we're just gonna go Tokyo Funk. Can't go wrong with it. Well, unless it doesn't load. Like it's doing right now. Making a fool of me. Alright, I guess I deserve this. This is my hell. Where it's just forever loading. Okay, cool. Everything's fixed now. The drawing from the live stream, sorry. I would prefer if you guys didn't share these, images around so much, from the comic, just because, like, I would rather have the completed stuff out there floating around. I'm not gonna be super upset. There's already somebody who, like, on Pinterest that went and, like, re-uploaded all my art on Pinterest. So, like, I won't be, like, super mad, but it's I'd rather have the completed things shared, you know? I don't know. I don't know. It's always a weird thing. Yeah. Again, I won't be mad, but it would just be like, prefer not. Just trying to make sure it's okay. We getting a lot of Rufus drawings. Hi, Lena. Welcome in. Flaffy, Mood, I got a few of my TBATF art shared on Pinterest without my knowledge. Don't care too much, but that's all that of all the art I've done. Yeah, I have like both of those. I have that one and of Thought being shared everywhere, and I'm just, all right. Like, I would just like if I was credited, like it being like brought back to the websites and such. I don't know. When will the pilot episode be? Okay, so for the pilot, we are actually going to be opening, like, compositing either later today or tomorrow to be looking for compositing artists. I am really trying to get the animation, the pilot, done this year. I don't know when this year. It's probably going to be closer to the, September, October time, but please don't hold me to that. Because again, there's just only so much I can do at a time, and I gotta make sure, like, I always have the money for it, but, like, I am doing everything in my power to get it to go out this year. So yeah. And then after that, I'll be picking away at the short animation to, that's based off of the animatic that you can find on YouTube, Winter's Last Stand. But for the most part, we are going towards doing comics. Thanks for asking. Also, very, very hopeful that my PNG tuber gets done soon. Just been trying to get that going. Things have been happening with the artist, and that's totally okay. Damn, Jax, why can't you use your wizard powers to get the pilot out? Because if I had wizard powers, a lot of people would be toads. Rufus and his new love interest. I guess the secret is out. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure I'm very open about, like, who the love interest is, and I'm pretty sure you can, like, guess who the 3 love interests are. Who he winds up with, I don't fucking know. I didn't say that. I didn't say the F word. I said fudgin'. I said fudgin'. I said fudgin'. Hi, Kaz! Here for only a split second, but wanted to say hi and see the art. Hi, Jax, and excited for the PNG tuber. Thanks, Kaz. I hope you have a wonderful day. I know you have your D&D campaign. That's exciting. But yeah, no, I am excited for the PNG tuber. It's very cute looking so far. Just trying to get everything else. I wonder who Rufus will choose to be with in the end of the series. Yeah, it's just kind of a matter of, like, what is kind of the life he chooses for himself from those 3 choices. Though, again, the romance part is, like, who do you want to be, Rufus? Yeah. The romance part is kind of, again, it is the sub-genre. We're focused more on, like, the horror stuff and, like, a little bit of the comedy stuff and, like, him developing a relationship with, like, you know, these other criminals that were kind of, like, lost their way. And then there's, like, romance sprinkled in. Like, my whole thing is I don't mind romance. I don't mind intimate moments in the bedroom in stories. I just don't like it when it's like the whole plot is like, this is that plot. This is everything. And it's like, it could be part of it. Like, the fact of like, when you watch something and you're like, oh, this is a really cool premise, and then you're like, oh, but you're gonna watch this really unhinged romance that has not what you were promised, but that's what it is now. And I'm like, neat, that's not what I signed up for. I'm sure that's other people's bread and butter, not mine. Why are you giving Rufus a savior complex? So he has a savior complex that he has to kind of learn to get rid of. Because there's a lot of times that you have these like shows and movies and things to where they are like, ah, yes, here comes the dude who has to like save everybody and tell people they have to change their ways and they have to like, you know, do all these things and then like all live happily ever after. And like, in a way, Rufus comes in and he does try to get these criminals to be like, oh, you should change your way because blah, blah, blah. And Rufus starts to realize everything's not black and white. There's a lot of gray areas and there's a lot of necessary evil in order to maintain order, and let good thrive later. So he as a person has to grow out of having the savior complex, while some of the other people have to learn how to gain trust again with people. Other people have to learn how to gain compassion. So like it's a lot of different things that come into the factor. His is definitely a savior complex, but it's not a savior complex because of him being like, well, you have to be good because you'll go to heaven, or you have to be good because you'll be arrested. It's just what he's been told you have to do. He never sat to question why, because it was what he was told you're supposed to do. So yeah, he does have a bit of a savior complex. That is definitely something I didn't really think that was on the plate, but you brought it up a good point. When creating OCs, don't make your whole OC characters' personalities just relationships or romance. That's one thing I learned. Absolutely. Very much Rufus overcompensating that he can mess up many times and can just keep fixing things with the price of carrying other people's burdens and pushing away his own issues. That is very much the other side of it. Is, again, you have him being like, you should do good so because that's what you're supposed to do. Like, we shouldn't steal. And it's like, what if you're stealing food because you're starving? Then I get, like, he has to learn that. And then you have the other side of it that you are very correct on, is he does overcompensate. And he starts to try taking other people's burdens because he realizes, like, a lot of people around him are not happy. They're not happy, and he wants to try bringing happiness to them again. He wants to try fixing things because, again, as you mentioned, he has messed up a lot. So, like, he has a very complex ideology on, like, what is good, what is right, and what he needs to do. So very much he wants to be a hero, he wants the credit, but at the same time, when you tell him it's not about the credit, then he starts to take it a little too far on, it has to be my cross to bear. And again, not meaning that in any religious undertones or anything, it's just kind of how he is. Rufus is Space Jesus! No! Get that out of here! Get that out of here! That's so funny. Don't call him Space Jesus. It's bad. His voice actor, when he grows out his hair and his beard, looks like Jesus. So that's really, really funny. But yeah, Rufus is I like to think all the characters are complicated in their own ways. It was just wanted to take a himbo character that's got insecurities, that wants to be something more, that wants to feel like they have a purpose, that came from almost practically a perfect family, came from like everything, so that like he can't relate to people, he can't relate to their struggles, he can't relate to like their life that they've gone through. Like he had really loving parents, he had a loving family, grew up in a very healthy planet, give or take, grew up with like, you know, vegetation everywhere and plentiful food and like all this stuff. And then like, you know, he can't relate to other people, so like it's a matter of him trying to learn the struggles that other people have gone through, and him learning like you coming in and you trying to change people, you trying to push what you think is right may not be right. And so it's a lot of, he has that complexity of he doesn't know any better, and he has to learn that there's consequences for it. Because I never get to see that for like himbo characters. They're usually just like, haha, funny. I love me a good religion allegory. I mean, I've got some like religious undertones, because that's my traumatized ass from being an ex-Catholic, but definitely it's not like a huge thing in my thing. There's just like undertones, but I think that's just because I believe the Bible had like some good morals in some of their stories. And I'll leave it at that. Not gonna get into a debate on that. Oh, him and Sai getting into a spat because of Rufus's perfect life and him lecturing him. Yes. There is so it is a Steven Universe song. It's from the fucking movie where like Steven and Spinell are like, you know, in the air. Yeah, change. However, the cover that's sang by Caleb is actually perfect, because he actually does a segment in between to where it's supposed to be instrumental and it's supposed to be Spinell talking back. And that section right there that he did of adding into it is very Sai-coded, because he's talking about like, oh yeah, you and your perfect family. You go back to your perfect family, your sweet little family. And him being very, very angry. And that does happen. There is a point that Sai is very jealous that Rufus got to have this loving family, because again, both of them grew up with wealth, but one had a lot more love to offer and like support, and the other one, he didn't have all that support. His mom was there, sure, but she also wasn't all the time, because she had to go off to operas, so he had a very distant father he had to deal with. And then his brother that he lived in the shadow of. So like when you have Rufus, who gets along with his brothers, who gets along with his fathers, it drives Sai insane. So yeah, The Caleb cover is definitely, I definitely have that in one of my playlists for a spat between Rufus and Sai, realizing like, you know, there's issues lying there. Sai is jealous that Rufus got all this stuff, and Rufus is overstepping his boundaries, not understanding that families can have bad problems, families can have tension. So again, there's a lot of them are learning about each other. So the ending that song with Sai stabbing Rufus out of frustration. Goddamn. Isaac, lol, y'all have families. That's the other thing. You have Yuji, who doesn't have a family. She was only raised by her father, doesn't have siblings. And then, and if for some reason she fucking had siblings, they're all dead because the planet's gone. Like she doesn't have anybody. So then you have these two grown-ass men that are, you know, bitching at each other, over family stuff, and then she doesn't have anybody. And then, of course, you have Yoko, who's just like, well, I'm a robot. And it's like, Yoko, you're not really part of this conversation. I'm sorry, sweetheart. So there's definitely some... There will be times to where the friends fight each other and, like, have conflict, because that's normal. That's figuring out what boundaries are with people. What's figuring out what... Isaac and Yuji, besties for life. That's everybody trying to figure out what is everyone's boundaries, what is everyone's, you know, trauma that they want to talk about, not that they have to talk about it. It's a complicated mess. Is you have a lot of broken people in different ways, and I'm not saying like, oh, Rufus comes from this perfect thing, he shouldn't be broken. He's still broken because for him, he came from a perfect family, but society treated him horribly. Like, society, they made, like, rumors about him. They made stories about him. They treated him poorly whenever his family wasn't looking. And he just had to smile and bear it because he didn't want to make his family look bad. He didn't want to cause problems. He didn't want those rumors to be true. He wanted to be, you know, this good guy. And he thought, if I keep being a good guy, eventually they'll see. And people just started, you know, using him and lying to him and, you know, using him for intimate bedroom stuff, using him for his money, using him to get to his brothers, using him to get to his fathers. So, like, he has the issue of, like, how society saw him and dealt with him. Sai had kind of how the family, you know, treated him, and mainly just, like, the father and the, you know, issues and the brother issue, and then, like, trying to run away from what was expected of him. Sai and Rufus fighting and the fucking record scratching when Yuji says she literally has nothing. Yeah, that's a thing, where do you draw the line? It's not a competition. It's not supposed to be a competition of like, oh, I have more trauma than you. It should never be something like that. It should be a moment of, we are trying to understand each other. We're trying to do better by each other. We're trying to learn where we each come from and where we all stand, and, you know, respect one another. And when you have a bunch of people that have a bunch of different problems come together, like, how do you approach it? How do you take care of it? So, like, that's why I really like this cast, because they're all fun, they're all silly, they have, like, their moments and their quirks and their, you know, just habits, but, like, eventually, after enough time, they will get on each other's nerves, and it's not they'll end friendships over it. They could, but a lot of times it's them trying to learn more about each other because they're very secretive at first. They're very Rufus is the only one that's like very open about it, and you know, even then he's not super open about how society treated him or how his like exes or like people that only used him for intimate bedroom stuff. Like he's not as open about that. He just wants to find a place where he belongs, where he feels loved. And kind of all of them feel that in one way or another. Sai wants to have admiration and be adored and such. I mean, Rufus has a little bit of that too. But Sai wants to be like a crime lord because he wants that respect. He wants to prove, fine, if you think I'm the worst, then I'll be the absolute worst. Watch me go. Rufus wants to be seen as a hero. Rufus wants to be adored and loved and, oh, my hero, thank you so much, and thanked by society. And you have like Yuji, who is looking for a family, but she doesn't realize that's what she's missing, and what she actually wants is to feel like a normal kid for once. You have Yoko, who she's trying to figure out what she is, where she belongs, and, you know, try to be whatever she decides and not because of what her coding says. So they all have like their own issues and complications, and I think it's fantastic. And like, I'm excited to be able to explore it with them. But we have to kind of get through the baby steps. We have to get through the earlier parts of the story, which is not as drastic offhand. I'm staring at mainly the prequel comic and the pilot. They're not as... The pilot has a little bit more of a drastic stuff, but this one, there's not as much. They're the worst, absolutely. Hi, Angel, welcome in. You're not late at all. I'm just still drawing, and we're just talking about the thought characters. How are you? Flaffy says, my man got no aftercare after intimacy. He really didn't. He didn't get the aftercare. He's been through a lot. He's had a lot of partners, which is kind of funny when you think about the acronym of this show. He's been through a lot of partners. There was Vanessa, who he was really attached to, and he thought she was the one. He's been part of fraternities, if you think about it, and he was just trying to find somebody to love him, somebody to care for him. And again, that's not a huge, like, oh, that's the main plot of the story, is for him to find his loved one. But, like, it does come into play of kind of how he makes his choice, of how he goes along with things, and trying to figure out, like, does he jump head first? Does he take a moment? Does he try to think about it? He doesn't want to get hurt again, but, you know, he doesn't know what kind of affection he needs. So, yeah. Very, 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 very sad. It's just he's not open about being as intimate as, like, say, Sai is. Sai is very open about his intimate relationship he has with women. Rufus is not as open on talking about that. Because, again, it is a little bit of a tender spot for him. Let's see. Sorry, if I can't be the best, I'm sure as hell gonna be the worst. This can be the worst. Okay, Jontron. Angel, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I actually have a special guest for you today. Cassie will be joining us. Hey, welcome in, Cassie. Flaffy says, Sigh, IF. Of course he does. Very good, Sai. You get a gold sticker on your forehead that says IF. But welcome in, Cassie. Always good to see you guys. We just have Rufus here talking to one of his fathers. And of course, Rufus's family just want him to be happy, but they also want him to be safe. Welcome in, Good Fong. Flaffy says, Candy be the type to give him a gold sticker after lovemaking. Aw, that's really sweet. He'd be so excited. He'd be so excited. Sai hooking Candy up with Rufus because his brother doesn't deserve nice things. That's the other thing. That's the funny other thing. Is when Sai realizes that, like, Rufus and Candy seem compatible, and he's just like, well, Candy won't hook up with me, so, like, you should go hook up with Rufus, because you're both kind of dumb, and, like, also this will be a huge middle finger to my brother, so, like, I'm all for it. So there is a bit of that, him trying to wingman getting Candy out of being engaged with his brother as a big FU for Mukta, and it's not even a, oh yeah, it'll make Rufus happy. It's more for his own petty revenge, right? His head's too big. Sai is a silly, silly man. I do feel for Abel here. He's not trying to be hard on Rufus. It's just he wishes his son wasn't so obsessed with getting achievements and awards, because he sees that it's not healthy for him and it's making Rufus miserable, and he doesn't like seeing his son miserable. And he's just like, they're just trinkets, they're nothing. And there's kind of an irony, because here he's asking Rufus, like, why are you so obsessed with getting trophies? And when you go to the next page, you'll see both Rufus and Alexander standing in the room where the wall is just littered in trophies. So there's a bit of irony in it where Alexander is asking him, why are you obsessed with it, as they're in the room that's littered with trophies. And the irony's kind of lost on him of it's because they're showcased. It's because he's reminded about it all the time, not only through the family, but through society. And, like, of course he wants it. So, like, I love... Yeah, he's got a little bit of the parent blinders on of, like, I just don't understand why it's such a big deal to you, why you have to have this. And his house is littered with all of his great ancestors and all of their achievements and all the things that they've done. And Rufus is like, I just don't feel like I live up to the name Abel. Like, I want to. Gutfong says, I'm pretty new to this fandom, and sorry if I tend to sound shy or deadpan. I am a gigantic Psy fan, and I love him so much. I'm good friends with Angel, and she's the sweetest. I love her so much. Aw. Well, no problem. Thanks for being here. We have a lot of people that enjoy Psy. Pax saying, no, because speaking of that, Isaac is such a effing pick-me. Oh god, when it comes to relationships and all that stuff. That's so funny. Angel says, Rufus, my beloved, someone give this man hot chocolate and a warm blanket. You can't give Rufus chocolate. I know what you mean, but you cannot give Rufus chocolate. He is deathly allergic. So that's really funny, but I do understand the sweet gesture. He would love a hot chocolate. He would love that so much, but he will die. Flappy says, ooh, Victor feels the same with his father's last name. Yeah. It is, though it's really funny. It's really funny because the last name for like the Soldats just means soldier. And it was just a name that all of the Super Soldier Program children were given, because they were just supposed to be soldiers, and Vlad is one of, if not the only, of the Super Soldier children that survived, and that's why he still has the name Soldat. So yeah. Little lore there. That's not really part of thought, but I just thought I'd drop it. Dun dun dun. But yeah, no, welcome in, guys. And again, Alexander means nothing by it. He doesn't mean to, condemn his son for having these dreams and such. He's tired of seeing his son chase something that is, not truly achievable, because it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to, be an artist. I want to write books. Okay, yeah, sure. This kid, even when he was a kid, was like, I want to fly. I want to be a superhero. I want to breathe fire. I want to have laser beams. Like, he's always had dreams that are not possible. So, like, definitely tiring for an adult, like any parent, especially a parent to where their child is now an adult, to still be having these kind of dreams that you don't want to tell them no, but at the same time, what do you do? And it's like, while this world is a utopia, a utopia may be a utopia for somebody, but it's not a utopia for everyone, right? It won't be a utopia for everyone. It's not possible, because someone's ideal of like, that's a perfect world for me, is not a perfect world for a lot of other people. My idea for a perfect world is like, we are able to stay at home and just kind of like relax and do our own thing. I have extroverted family that would go insane. The fact that like we saw like COVID and people were like, no, I have to go outside. They're putting me in a muzzle. Ah! Like the fact that was going on, and that was just like people staying at home because of a disease. Like, I enjoyed that time. I liked that piece. But a lot of people couldn't handle it. So, like, a utopia for some is not a utopia for all. Okay. Flappy over on Twitch says, yeah, Victor feels like He has to be as great as Yuji was to Vlad in his universe to take on the name Soldat, but that's an unachievable thing because they are two different people. Victor very much feels like Yuji's replacement. Ooh. Yep. That does make it tough. Always living in the shadow of your sibling. Again, Alexander's not trying to be mean. He's just tired old man. It's kind of like when you're, you have somebody who is like, I have this next get-rich-quick scheme. And it's like, bro, you've already done those. They didn't work. Please don't do it again. Let's see. Pac says, Isaac, this is my boyfriend. Isaac, time to break them up and snatch him. Oh my god. Angel says, Rufus, my baby. I love him so much. Yeah, Rufus is trying. Like, look at him. Look at him. Silly man. Flaffy says, yeah, Victor's mom was very doting to make up for his father suddenly being emotionally checked out. But grown up, he felt at the end of the day, Vlad didn't care about him as an individual and only relented on some things when his mother was involved. Aww. It's really heartbreaking to hear. And then we go and turn this off. This freaking goober of a man. Just the little turnaround gets me. Let's see. So that page is done. And we have this page. Look at my beautiful thumbnails, guys. Aren't they amazing? Be jealous of my thumbnails. My skill. Scripting and thumbnails are very important when doing a comic because it helps. I was getting my southern draw coming out. It helps get you kind of on the proper page for what is happening in the scene. The script is helping for like knowing what's going on, and then the thumbnails are good for seeing how it happens. So that's what we have here. Gutfang from God, my southern draw is bad today. From YouTube says, I imagine a scenario for Sice. So sorry if I'm bothering you. Not at all. I love hearing your guys' scenarios. I can imagine Cy telling a corny joke. He eases his hand into a high five, but when nobody high fives him, he smiles and high fives himself. Yes, he is the type that would do that. He very much adores himself. Gutfang says, Angel does this shit to me all the time. It's so funny. That is funny. Flaffy says, and it leads to Victor being frustrated at Yuji because why did he love her more than he did him? And even Rufus has to step in and go, dude, she's just a kid and you're an adult. Ooh, dang. That's bad when you get Rufus stepping in going, hey, don't. That's bad because Rufus usually is like very timid on that stuff. But he definitely is protective of Yuji and time. Close-ups when I'm like, I don't know how to get attention to change. And of course, he has his own frustrations. Angel says, Cassie, you gotta high five me, bro. This is true. This is true. It's part of the high five rules. It's to never leave a bro hanging. Super squint of eyes. Hate doing like close-up things like this because then the face shape is all wrong. But instead of just deleting everything, we will start with the eyes instead of me normally doing the face shape. And then we'll delete this nose. Okay, so then God, I'd kill for some coffee right now. I should drink water, though. Water time. Gutfang says, Angel, you tell me the most corny jokes when we're at lunch. What better time? What better place? I do love, though, that sometimes he has, like, this super, like, fucking action hero eyes, and then his fucking doofy, like, eyeballs just boop. And you still laugh at them. Flaffy says, eventually Rufus learns Victor had to grow up too fast, just like Yuji, and takes a gentle approach with him. Oh, that's sweet. Rufus is really good about that. It's just a matter of, like, him trying to learn these things. Angel says, I kind of want some coffee right now, too. Yeah. I'm probably going to end the stream here, just because I realized it's, like, almost 2 on my time, and I want coffee and maybe a hard nap, because I'm still tired from staying up really late last night. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me again. This has been fun. I'm glad we got to kind of talk about, you know, a lot more in depth on the characters. Kind of some of the, I guess, dirtier, like, air, a little bit of their laundry kind of sense. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and I will catch you guys later. Again, we do have a Discord, so if you'd like to join the Discord and hang out with others, you are more than welcome to, so long as you are of 18 and above. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I will catch you guys on Tuesday, and we will start the next promo art piece. All right, guys. Bye.